Hello everyone! I have a lap full of ratties. I can't even get them all in frame. But I'm here with Delphi and Beba and Harper and Corey's behind me. There she is. And I'm going to do a video today about the bedding options you have for your cages. So the first thing I want to say is, no matter what, the first thing you need to check for when you're picking out your bedding is you need to look and see if there's anything about pine or cedar in the bedding. That is the number one thing not to do. Rats are very sensitive to pine and cedar, the aromas or the chemicals or whatever it is that comes off of that wood. It is really bad for their respiratory systems, so you do not want to have that in the cage. You will have to go to the vet and get some antibiotics, so that's not good. So that is definitely number one thing to look out for. On the back hi. On the back of your bedding, there will be, the either what it's made out of, or it'll say like contains on the back. Just check that and make sure that there's no pine or cedar. Most of the wood bedding that is available, if you just go to like your local grocery store or something like Walmart, most of those wood beddings are pine or cedar because they are cheaper. And like reptiles can use them and stuff like that, but it is not good for rats to use. So just look out for that. Aspen wood, on the other hand, you can use. I don't like it just because it's not comfortable at all. It's not absorbent. And I don't really see anything good about it other than it's cheap. But I think for cleaning purposes and stuff, it's a lot easier to use something else. And your rats will be walking on wood shavings all day, and I'm not really thrilled with that. So I've tried it before. I never used it again. I didn't like it. So that is the wood situation. Poor Harper. She's still getting over pneumonia. So if you hear her making any noises, or her breathing sometimes is pretty labored. Her sides are actually a bit sunken in. That's because she's still getting over pneumonia. We actually had to put her back on antibiotics. So that's kind of why I haven't had a video out in a while. But she's doing a lot better, so especially this morning. So that is what not to do, pine and cedar. So now I'm going to move on to the good options. So first I will show you some examples of what I use. And these are all examples of paper-based bedding. And that is my favorite for, the bedding options. So these are, this is actually the same one, and then that is another one. This is Carefresh. You could buy Carefresh pretty much anywhere. I just buy the regular old natural whatever this stuff is. It's not colored or anything like that. Another thing you want to watch out for, especially with Carefresh, you don't want anything that says, smells like lavender or something like that, because again, those aromas, those perfumes, they're going to irritate your rat's respiratory systems. So you don't want to get anything like that. But Carefresh is a great option. It's a little bit more expensive, but I find that when I get it on sale, it evens out. So I just make sure that I get a big bag when it goes on sale, and then it's pretty comparable to other options. So this one I actually haven't been using as much. I used to use this in my dorm room, and now I just brought it home so I have an extra bag. But this is the stuff that I'm currently using, and I really like this. So that is the bag I bought, and I keep the extra way up high in my closet where I can hardly reach it. So I bought this container and I fill it up, and then those two are just scoops that I found, and they're both actually they hold the same amount, and one scoop is perfect for my litter boxes. So I just get 2 scoops ready when I'm cleaning the cage, and then it just goes straight into the litter boxes. So that's really nice. But this is fresh news. I have tried other versions of this. This is a recycled paper that is more like in pellet form. That one is much more just kind of like natural looking. These are more small pellets, and I've tried other ones and they all pretty much seem the same to me. I really like this stuff, especially this one, because the dust is really low. That's also something that you want to look out for. If there's a lot of dust in the bedding, it'll, you know, get kicked up or whatever, and again irritate your rat's respiratory systems. So watch out for how dusty they are. I know that some people have used cat litter, and a lot of times that can be quite dusty. So that's why I don't like to use that, but it is an option if it doesn't have pine or cedar in it. But Fresh News, it's just these little pellets, and it's really nice for cleaning up because I just take off the grate of my litter box, and it just pours right into my trash can, and nothing's left behind. It's really easy to just kind of dump and go. So that's why I like it. It was also pretty cheap. You know, that's a huge bag. I mean, monstrous bag. And I think I got that bag for the same price as that one, and that one will last me. I think the last bag I bought lasted me about 6 months. So I think, you know, it was like $16 or something. $16 for 6 months. I think this one will even last me longer because it's the equivalent of 2 of those. And I think that's great. So, I mean, again, I only use this in my litter pans, so it'll be different for people who use this on the entire bottom floor of their cage. So paper bedding is my favorite option. There's some other ones like corn-based ones. I don't like that because your rats will try and eat it. And yeah, there's some other weird like little pellet things. I don't like those either. You have to think about, will your rats want to eat it too? This stuff, if they eat it, you know, it'll come out again. But there's nothing enticing about this for them to eat, so I've never had that problem. But something like a corn-based or some kind of food-based thing, you know, it's going to smell like food, so they're going to try and snack on it. So I'm really hesitant to point the camera at the cage because it's a mess, but they destroyed this toy, and so there's paper and stuff everywhere. But so again, I just use the paper-based bedding in my 2 litter boxes that are there and on the bottom, and so it's not a lot. But the final thing I'll talk about with bedding is that you can use, you know, something else like this on the rest of your pans or floors or whatever, and this will cut down a lot on the cost of your bedding. But you do have to litter train your rats. I do have a video on that if you want to learn more about that. But so there are several options for if you want to do something like this and you want to litter train. I use towels. These are beach towels. Usually I buy bath towels. It doesn't matter though. And I get these used at garage sales and Goodwill and things like that. And then just wash them and then put them on in. And these work so great. They're really absorbent. Sorry, Harper just jumped on me. They're really absorbent. They're very easy to clean. The cage cleaning process is cut down by, you know, a lot of time if you use something like this. You could also use just fleece. You can buy like a throw blanket and cut that, or you can go to your local fabric store and get just a piece of fleece cut. You could use other kinds of fabric, I would imagine, but those are just the two most popular, and I think the two best options. But I just have hand towels for these shelves, and then regular size towels, and a lot of times I get them to match. But I wait for them to go on sale. A lot of times I will buy them on Black Friday, because at one of my local stores they always have a sale on towels on Black Friday, where I can get them for $2 each, so that's amazing. And then they do kind of, like mine, like to wreck the corners, so they will kind of chew on them, some more than others. Pippa also likes to go in the back and lift up the towel and try to snuggle under, which is kind of annoying, because then she might, a lot of times she gets stuck and can't figure out how to get back out, or she'll start stashing items underneath the towel, which can be a problem. But to combat that, I have very strategically placed items, like the litter pans in the back hold down those corners, and then I have the tiles that help hold down the other corners, and I also have the binder clips, and again, I have a video called Liners I use in my cage or something like that, and it talks more about this, so check that out. But so yeah, that is one potential problem with this, but it's really not a problem if you just you know, put normal things around the cage and use something like a binder clip to keep them down. But just know that they will get chewed up, but so they won't last forever. But if you can get them on sale, you know, they're always $2.99 at Goodwill. Sometimes you can find them even cheaper there. You know, I think that's an amazing price for something that you can use many times over and over again. And the other great thing about using a fabric, you know, a towel or a fleece, is that then you just put it in the wash. You just put them in the normal wash. I use whatever detergent my mom has bought. The best kind you can use is something for like sensitive skin or something like that. It'll have less aromas. Something that doesn't have, you know, citrus breeze scent or whatever is probably better if you're going to buy a detergent just for them. But I don't think you have to. Just throw them in the wash with some soap, some detergent, and then you could dry them in the dryer just like all your other clothes, and then they come out clean. Yeah, Corey is very distracting. Isn't she cute? She has turned into quite the licker. She's learned from Delphi. Yeah, you. So yeah, so those are the main and the best options for bedding for your rats. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. And also try and check out my liner video and my litter training video if you have any questions on that stuff. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and, and hopefully learned a little bit more about what options you have out there available to you and your rats. So, bye guys! Bye! Pippa doesn't want to say bye this time.